शासन प्रति श्रमण भगवान महावीर स्वामी ने मारा भावपूर्वक वंदन। असीम उपकारी राष्ट्रसंत परम गुरुदेव आप श्रीना चरणों में मारा भावपूर्वक वंदन। सर्व उपकारी गुरु भगवंतों तथा महासती जी ने मारा भावपूर्वक वंदन। Since the last many days, Param Gurudev has been inspiring us on how do we develop a virtuous nature. What are the qualities of the one who pursues good merits by nature, who pursues good virtues and good qualities by nature? Param Gurudev explained to us with a very good example. There was once an old lady who had been performing penance, and the day before her parna, there was a birthday party at her house of her grandchildren. The menu on the food had pav bhaji, and the next day, internally she decided that I will have this pav bhaji for my parna. The next day morning, her daughter-in-law gave away the left food to her servants. But while giving, she uttered that I am going to have this. In the fight, everything was spilled over. But what do we have to learn from this? But what do we learn from this? The one who pursues good qualities by nature never thinks about their own self-interest, but always thinks about others selflessly. In spite of her daughter-in-law telling her that I will make it newly for you, she still wanted to have the same and not help others. This is not the virtuous element which one should inculcate. The first quality of pursuing a virtuous nature is leaving away all our self-interest and always thinking about others first and leaving aside everything which will develop your own self-interest. Also, Param Gurudev explained to us very beautifully that how do we think of having a virtuous nature mentally. It is not necessarily that everything we do, maybe it should have something in giving away. But mentally, even by thoughts, how do we develop it? He gave us an example. Like while you're walking and you see the birds flying in the sky, you can even think that how will the birds listen to Paramatma's Vani? How will the birds gain knowledge about Jainism and develop their right identity? If you see somebody walking on the road who doesn't have knowledge about his own self-identity, you can also think that how can I help him to gain the right vision in his life? If you see somebody who is born in a foreign country, who doesn't even get the darshan of the Panch Mahavratdhari Sadhu Sadhvijis, we can think of how will he gain darshan every day. By this way, even mentally through thoughts, one can develop a virtuous nature. Moving ahead, Param Gurudev also inspired us that we have a lot of sadharmics around us. We should always try to develop the habit of meeting at least 10 sadharmics in a day and know them, that what are the problems they are facing, and know their problems and try to inculcate or try to help them out and try to reach out to them with some or the other comforts. Also, when some of our family members are nearing death, the one who has a virtuous nature always thinks about how will the one who is nearing death improve all his future deaths by leaving away all our self-interest. One should always think that how should I try to help him gain more and more knowledge? How should I try to help him improve his death by maybe even uttering Navkar mantra, or maybe trying to inspire him with the truth of reality that you are the soul which is going to be permanent. These were a few examples which Param Gurudev inspired us yesterday. Then how should one develop a virtuous nature, and how should one gain knowledge and a right identity? This Punya Tattva, which Param Gurudev has been enlightening us since the last many days, is the base for moving ahead in sadhana. This speeds up our process even while one is living in sansar. These are the few examples with which one can even practice dharma in the right way in spite of being in sansar. So, we should always try to develop these good qualities, these virtues within oneself, and always internally also think good about everyone. Think about whoever we meet. Think good about everyone and every living being on earth with the bhavana of Shubh Thao Asakal Vishwanu. This way, we can always try to develop the virtuous element within us.